Look, nobody ever wins in a custody battle. Let's watch this clip.
I'd like to know, what law is it that says that a woman is a better parent simply by virtue of her sex? You know, I had a lot of time to think about what does it make somebody a good parent. You know, it has to do with constancy. It has to do with patience. It has to do with listening to them. It has to do with pretending to listen to them when you can't even listen anymore. It has to do with love, like she was saying.
Look, there's never going to be a winner or a loser in a custody battle. It's only going to be, how do we make this rough situation the best that we possibly can? Over the next few minutes, I'm going to explain what this movie actually gets right about custody battles and share a few ways parents can make the process more manageable for everyone involved. Hey, I'm Kristen Wolfe with Wolfe and Shore Law Group. We're here to help you get through your family law matter clearly and efficiently so that you can move on with your lives. One of the most difficult parts of divorce is when custody becomes a fight about who's right and who's wrong. When this happens, there is never a clear winner. The only people losing out are the kids. Look, we get it. Both parents feel very strongly about their children, and both parents are fighting about what they think is best for their kids. But the reality is, most of the time, fighting is not what's best for your kids. Obviously, there are some cases where you have to fight because there is no alternative, but the majority of the cases, trying to reason and rationalize with one another is often the best approach. I think a lot of people come into a divorce or a custody battle only thinking about what they've seen on TV or heard from their friends. This often isn't the reality. People are preparing to get into court and tell their story to the judge, but that's not really how it works. Most times, a lot of the work comes from behind the scenes and trying to negotiate with the other party or the other attorney. Remember, the standard for custody is always going to be what is in the best interests of the kids. With that said, a judge is not looking for a clear winner or a clear loser unless you're telling the kids that they're the winners in all of it. The only thing that happens when parents are locked in conflict is the process becomes longer, more expensive, and more emotionally draining for everyone involved. The reality is, you had kids together. You're going to be in this together forever. It doesn't just end when they reach 18 or at the end of the divorce. You're going to have to cooperate with one another for the rest of your lives because you're parents. The best approach is to start coming up with strategies right away so that you can learn how to co-parent moving forward. Let's not be mistaken. I'm not talking about giving in or giving up what you think is in the best interest of your kids. What I'm talking about is trying to move forward in a cooperative manner if that is appropriate. The reason why this works is because it keeps the focus on your kids rather than your feelings. Look, I'm a parent too, I get it. Our emotions sometimes need to take the back seat to our kids' best interests, and that's exactly what I'm talking about here. It's essential that we at least try to reduce conflict where possible. Obviously, that's not always possible. That's what the courts are here for. But if we can, we do try to do so. If we're able to reduce the conflict level, then we can work towards practical solutions. And the benefit of that is that the both of you will be involved in any negotiations and any terms in the agreement that we may or may not come to. Something that Kramer and Kramer actually captures in a powerful way is the fact that when couples are married, there's often a default parent. When you get divorced, that default parent feels the need to continue to be the default parent, but the other parent needs to step up. It may be in the same way or in different ways, but that's something that you both need to figure out, and you need to allow for some time for that to develop. Hey, if you're facing a divorce or a custody battle, or you know someone that is, tell them to give our office a call at 203-745-3151 or visit our website at www.wolfeandshorelaw.com.